wrote notes here, and I now don't know what my own notes mean. Hello, my name is Nicole, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share my plans for the Read What You Own challenge. So admittedly, I'm a bit late to the game here. This challenge actually started on November 15th, but I'm joining now anyway because that's just what worked out in my timeline. And I've been reading since November 15th, so that counts, right? Because if I didn't have a channel, it's not like you would know I was starting late. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about the challenge. This challenge was started, I think, 2 years ago by Ollie over at Criminali, and he actually started it just for himself. He challenged himself to read a certain number of books before he bought any more books. Um, this year it's been growing and growing, and now I know at least three other booktubers who are also doing it. Greg at another bibliophile reads, Crystal at Fiber Artsy reads, and MJ at Reading This Life. There are way more people than doing that, so check out some YouTube channels. Search for Read What You Own challenge, and you'll find tons of other booktubers as well as non-booktubers doing this. So I think that's really cool. So the basic idea of the challenge is to start reading the physical or digital books that you own versus buying more books or getting more books from the library. The thing that I love about this challenge is that he really encourages you to make it your own. Like, there's different tier levels that you can do in terms of how many books you plan on reading before you buy more, and you can make whatever exceptions you want to the rule. So if you want to see more, the announcement video, that kind of thing, go check out Criminali's channel. So I will link his channel below, and you can just search for it on there. Read What You Own Challenge 2023. That's what I searched, and it came up. So I was initially planning on doing the Read 100 books, which I think would have put me at the platinum tier. Uh, However, the more I thought about it, the more I realized that doesn't really make sense for me. I mean, I can read 100 books. Like, I definitely own 100 books that I can read. But for me, there's actually a timeline that I have as a goal. So I guess I'll just go ahead and share my goals. If you see me looking off to the side, it's because I'm reading my book and I have this weird shadow, so I don't I don't want to hold it there. Um, but let me get into what my goals are for this challenge. So first and foremost, my number one goal is to actually reduce the number of owned books I have. I have something coming up probably by next summer that would make it very helpful for me to own fewer books, basically. I'm looking to unhaul books, but that's not necessarily part of my goal per se. I just want to read through as many books as I can. And yeah, so that's my main book, is to read as many books as I can, figure out whether I want to keep them or unhaul them. I tend to only keep books that I give a 5 star to and unhaul all the rest. So the way that I figured out this would be most effective for me is, rather than going for 100 books, which I feel like would be pretty unrealistic. Well, I know it would be unrealistic for me to reach that by the end of next summer, partially because I don't typically read 100 books in a year. Uh, if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll probably start to realize that I like really long books. I own a lot of really long books. The vast majority of my books, I would say, are probably over 500 pages long. So, I'm usually more a 60, 70 book a year person, I think. I don't know. I don't know that I've looked at that recently. Anyway, my point being, I realized having a book number goal wasn't going to really be good encouragement for me, because I was concerned that it would just be encouraging me to read the smallest books on my shelf as opposed to really get through a lot of books on my shelf. So, what I've decided to do is, I know that I can typically read about 100 pages a day. So, I decided that since in about 10 months, I want to be through as many books as possible, I'm going to make myself a 10-month goal to read 100 books a day. Oh my gosh. That that would be, yeah, let's not even go there. That's not what I meant. So, my goal is, over the course of 10 months, to average 100 pages a day. So, what that means is, by the end of 10 months, or before I buy more books, I want to have read 30,000 pages. So, that may sound like a lot, but over the course of 10 months, that should be about 100 pages a day. Did I take long enough to say that? So I have some rules and I have some exceptions. My main rule is that I'm not going to buy any more books until I've reached 30,000 pages read, um, from November 15th to however long that takes. I do have exceptions to the rule, though. I can bring library books in and read library books. However, my library books will not count towards that page total. So no, because that's just not helping me actually figure out what's on my shelf and what I want to keep and not. Um, if I DNF a book, I am going to count that towards the page total, because I'm going to unhaul the book, and that is part of my goal, is to unhaul books. Uh, if I just don't read a book and I decide to unhaul it, that will count towards the page total. So I don't care if I unhaul those books because I read them and they were okay, or because I DNF'd them, or because I decided I just don't want to read this book anymore. That's probably going to be the smallest category. So if I finish a book and I decide to keep the book, that still counts towards my page count. I'm literally just any book on my shelf that I have read, decided not to read, or didn't finish are all counting towards that page total. The other thing, this is really the only caveat towards buying new books, which is I can use gift cards if they're to a local store. I can buy books with those because I want to use those up. And if I have book credit to a local used bookstore, I can use the book credit to buy more books. And then in terms of tracking this, since I'm tracking a page count, what I'm going to start doing is whenever I do a book update or a monthly wrap up, I'm going to keep a counter in there so that you can kind of track and count along with me how many pages I've read. And since I love a good countdown, I'm going to start with the counter at 30,000 pages and we'll be counting down. And when that countdown reaches 0, yeah, there's going to be a major book haul. I guess the final exception that I should make is that since I only recently started to do this, I had already planned some visits to bookstores based on some trips I have coming up. So I had planned a book haul for the end of December. I'm still doing that book haul. Now, I'm not trying to go crazy. I'm not trying to haul a bunch more books because I know I'm not going to be able to buy any more books for the next 10 months. But I'm also not going to like hold back and limit myself more than I normally would have. And warning, it's probably going to be a pretty decent book haul because I'm visiting some pretty cool stores. So look forward to that because that'll probably be the only book haul you see on my channel for a good 10 months. So I think that's it for now. That's how I'm going to participate in the Read What You Own challenge. I am hoping to at least every other week do an update on how that's going, update the page count, that kind of thing. I will be keeping track in my seriously plain, this thing needs some stickers on it, notebook of how it's going. Or rather, I'll be keeping track in here of the exact number because if I only do it in the videos, I'm going to have to watch my own videos back every single week just to know how many pages I've read. So I do also use the story graph. So that's going to help me out as well. And I think that's it. I'm excited about this challenge because honestly, I buy books that I'm really excited about reading and I can't wait. And if you can tell, I have plenty because all my bookshelves, like this one right here, are double stacked. And that's not helpful because then it's hard to see all your books. Anyway, that's it for today. Let me know if you're planning on doing this challenge and what your goal is. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!
Ho, ho, ho! Merry